with you. And I keep referring to this thing that we see in tennis. When you see the two people on the baseline and they're just hitting it backward and forward, one of them comes up and they do something, then they call it an unforced error. They could just have kept doing what they were doing, but they try to do something and they make an error. In judo, we have unforced errors. You don't have to do this. You don't have to walk out. You don't have to make this grip. You don't have to do this. There's so many things that you could do that will stop you from getting a penalty. And so many times we see fighters who leave the area stupidly, make a stupid false attack. For me, these are unforced errors. And when you count them up, this is why you lose. You do things that you don't have to. You know,
the invoices come. It comes later. In the beginning, it doesn't count one shido, two shido.
Later on, you get the invoice.
Later on, if it's really close, you have to pay this invoice. Huh? And then even you throw. Even you have imagine like the example we had. Wazari is a big score actually by Wazari. Just keeping fighting, reducing the risk. You should win the fight.
That's right.
But not if you put if you offer for free some shido to your opponent.
That's right. You give it away.
And then the opponent find a solution, putting you on the corner. Then you are there. You have to risk. You have to keep the activity, and then it's enough. Then it's enough. I appreciate that today we in the judo we use the balance of the opponent. We use the principles of judo. It was in the first day, I think, second fight on the mat number 3. One of the athletes at Wazari, and he tried to push out the opponent. And the opponent just turned in a fantastic Tayo Toshi. This is what we have. We have to use. You have to use the energy, the power of the opponents. And for me, it was a good example that athletes, coaches, referees are ready for the Olympic qualification. We start in a few weeks the Olympic qualification over 2 years. The first year will count in then 50%. The second year 100%. I think we are prepared. We have now the tools, we have now the infrastructure with the tournament, and also we have the understanding. The IGF refereeing seminar in Malta being open, available on internet. The information was going in all corners of the world, so everybody from home can hear from the first hand the information. And I appreciate all the feedbacks we get from federations, feedback we get from coaches, even from athletes, because in the very end we have a sport for us, for all.
Daniel Lascaux was referring to the start of the Olympic qualification period, obviously leading up to Rio in 2016, and that starts with the Continental Open in Madrid, the weekend of the 31st, the end of this month, end of May, and we'll bring you that live here, live coverage of that. That should be quite a tournament. I think that they put on a good tournament in Madrid, to be honest, and I think it's a nice setting. It's a good place to kick off the first qualification tournament. You've got other duties to be handling, Daniel, or are we gonna lose you for a minute?
Yes, I will go because I see that we have an empty mat. Thank you very much for the invitation. Okay. I look forward to see you soon.
Daniel sees an empty mat and he's going to go and fill it. I'd look out for it. Someone's going to get in his way.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you.
Daniel Lascaux, thanks very much for dropping in there. I think what Daniel is referring to with regard to an empty mat is that he's one of the sport directors here, and he likes to make sure that there is no dead time. That when one contest finishes, the other fighters are ready to go, and we can get through all of our contests as quickly as possible. Komronshōhi Ustopiриён of Tajikistan is on the mat now against Шералީ Ҷӯраеви of Uzbekistan. Ziad Gogachuri and Guillaume Elmont will be on mat 2 in a couple of fights. For those of you who like to follow the Georgian team. Coming on to mat number 1 now, the current world champion, Elkan Mammadov of Azerbaijan. He faces Jafar Makhmadov of Russia. That's on mat number 1 if you want to watch that one. Okay, why don't we do that? We may as well go down to mat 1 then. we can take a look at the current world champion, Alkan Mamadov, in his contest with Jafar Makhmadov. It's Mamadov in the white judogi and Makhmadov in blue. It's slightly confusing for you, but Mamadov and Makhmadov. It's the Azeri in white and the Russian in blue. A very good morning to Carrie Chandler and Nick Del Popolo. If they're watching, it's 10 to 12 here. It'll be 2 o'clock in the morning or something in the United States of America. Can't imagine they'll be up at this time.